of the regular season to decide the AFC East. We're with you on SportsCenter here on ESPN till the top of the hour. Another half hour on ESPN2, Week 18. Ready to rock with the former front office insider, Mike Tannenbaum, the former NFL quarterback, Tim Hasselbeck. Let's go. Let's start on the playoff picture here in a second. So you know this Eagles loss gave the Cowboys the division title, but they wanted to earn it, get in on merit with momentum. They would clinch the division title. Mike McCarthy at the mic.
Yeah, a little cold out there. All right, where's David or Clarence?
Clarence Hill, four-star Telegram. I don't know if you knew during the game because the Eagles kind of threw up the white flag, but are you proud of how you finished it? You did it yourself.
Definitely. I mean, that's the way we wanted it, and I think you just, we understand all the narratives around the game, but frankly, it's still a division game, and that's really was our approach. And we knew that they were going to throw some things at us, and you look at the way the game started, and a lot of deceptives and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, when you play division games, it's always a dogfight. So that was our mindset coming in here.
Mike Trotter with ESPN. How quickly did you find out it was Green Bay?
Tad just told me as I walked in here. So.
What are your initial thoughts on having?
Oh shoot. I mean, I've had a good year. I haven't watched them a whole lot, but yeah, the drama of it, I'm sure you guys will love. I will not participate this year, but. No, hey, it's playoff time. It doesn't matter who we play, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Tim Cowles, Dallas Wings. How do you feel about the way Dak finished the season, the offense finished the season compared to last year going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, obviously last year was not very good for us here. Just reflecting back, but it's two different teams, two different situations, but yeah, we feel good. We wanted to get the run game established, and I think clearly, I was really proud of our young guys. Both Brock and TJ, and particularly Brock, just because we didn't know. I mean, Zach, I didn't know about his illness until he arrived here at the stadium. So that was clearly a last-minute move. The way that went down, I mean, it was probably about 20 minutes before the 90-minute meeting that it was determined that Zach was not going to be able to play. So, and it didn't. We stayed right on course with the call sheet. We didn't change. We didn't, shy away from anything. Those guys gave us the chance. And it just like anything offensively, you want to stay in a healthy run pass mix, and because that's when that's when we're at our best. And and our offensive line gave us that opportunity. Obviously, our skill guys played well. Dak played well. I thought Tony and Rico ran the ball the way he looked for. And even on the flip side of it too, Brandon had to, we had to block, and then also the miss, and then, it was important to give him one more kick here at the end, because it's regular season's over, but we feel good about the amount of work and everything we put into it, and we're ready to go for the playoffs.
And Mike getting ready to go against his old team. He says it's no big deal. I think it's a big deal. The Cowboys won 12 or more games for the third straight season. The second longest streak in franchise history. That's just my opinion. The only span with more, 4 straight, 92-95, of course, when they won the championships with Jimmy and Troy and Emmett and Irvin. After the game, Ed Werder with the heart and soul of the Cowboys defense.
Mike, give me a sense of the significance of this moment to you guys winning the NFC East Championship on the road.
Just being down and out, just being down all year, everyone saying what we could be, putting everything on us, and just getting a chance to prove people wrong, and we get a chance to do that next week too.
And now you've created a relatively easy path for yourselves. You get 2 home games. You're undefeated at home, the only team in the NFL, 16-game home winning streak. You don't have to play on the road in the playoffs until at least the NFC Championship game. How big a deal is that to you guys?
It's extremely home. We get to play for the Cowboy Nation, rep the home state, and dominate at home.
On a personal level, today you got your 14th sack. That creates a new career high for you. How do you feel about that?
It's a hard sack to get, especially with all the trials and tribulations. I know y'all see it, but, super happy you got it. I'm not a 13 guy no more. I told you I was going to get it, so thank God.
And you guys got the takeaways again. That's so much a part of your defensive identity. How important will that be going forward?
Extremely important. We got to get it back to the best quarterback in the NFL, Dak Prescott.
Thanks, Micah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's quite the claim. This is one of the craziest stats in football. For the 19th consecutive season, The NFC East will not have a repeat champion because the Cowboys made sure of that today. 19 straight seasons without back-to-back winners. All right, by the way, the entire NFC playoff picture is set. It'll be the Packers and the Cowboys, the reunion for McCarthy, Jared Goff, and Sean McVay are going to get to see each other. We'll talk a little bit more about that, the matchups here in just a second. Tonight, SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt, by the way. As soon as the Sunday night game is over, the NFL will release the actual times of the games for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So stay tuned to SVP for that. He'll have it for you right when Sunday Night Football is over. All right, let's talk this game. And Tim, I want to start with you. Bottom line, you just heard what Michael Parsons said. We got the best quarterback in football. I'm not going to ask you to, say the veracity of that statement, but he did look good today, and that is huge news for a team that really rides on his arm.
For sure. He looked great. I thought that he was outstanding from the jump. Said it in the highlight. You look at just some of the plays and the way he's playing with anticipation, the way he has command of that offense. Deal. I just think as you go into the postseason, and Mike pointed out the connection with that guy there, CeeDee Lamb, that's important. How you feel like you are playing as you enter into the postseason does matter. Your health matters, all of those things. And I think that we might be seeing Dak's best right now, more so than we were at any other point in the season. And that is a really big deal for Dallas, especially as they get games at home into this postseason.
No question. As Werder said, they might only have to go on the road in the NFC Championship game. Again, Packers, Cowboys next weekend. Again, still waiting to see the date and time of that specifically. Mike, this weekend, you got Watt going down yesterday, Laporta going down today, A.J. Brown going down today, Jalen Hurts going down today, but he came back in. But I want to focus on Dallas's big injury to Stephon Gilmore. We know what type of player he is, both on and off the field, in the locker room, and on Sundays. What do you make of that injury when you saw it, when he was taken off the field, essentially with them kind of mobilizing his right hand as he walked off?
Yeah, Zubin, look, you don't want to speculate. It could be his shoulder, but remember, Stephon Gilmore replaced Trayvon Diggs, so it's actually another corner they would be down. Now, Nahshon Wright went in. He did okay. They have Deron Bland on the other side, but Stephon Gilmore could play man-to-man against the opposing team's best receiver. And one thing Green Bay has for next week, Zubin, is they have skilled players who could run, like Christian Watson, and Stephon Gilmore can cover man-to-man. So this would be significant. Again, you don't want to speculate. It looks like the right shoulder. We'll see how the week goes. But as you mentioned, there were very consequential injuries in the NFL over the last 24 hours.
No question about it. One quick update for you. We just did get word from the locker room from Werder and the guys there for Dallas that essentially Gilmore had his shoulder pop out. It was popped back in. He says he's okay. Of course, they all say they're okay with the stakes now heading to the playoffs. But just to let you know, popped out, popped in. He says he's fine. We'll see what happens waiting for Green Bay and Dallas. Let's flip this to the Eagles. It's a tailspin. The defense is atrocious. They've switched defensive play callers. They lost 4 games in December. They've lost 5 of 6 overall, heading to the playoffs as the 5 seed. Tim, Jalen Hurts came back in after the finger injury, but he's among the NFL's leaders in turnovers, and this is just not the type of forwards they need here in the final stretch, as now they're going to play Tampa in the opening round.
Listen, it's the complete opposite of Dallas. Their quarterback is playing well. Their defense is playing well. And you look at the Philadelphia Eagles. You mentioned lost 5 of the last 6. That one win they have was against Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor and the New York Giants. We know what type of season they've had. Now you're going into the postseason, maybe with your finger banged up, which we saw in the game today, and potentially with an injured or not available A.J. Brown, who I think is the most important player outside of Jalen Hurts. So this has been kind of a disaster since they've started to make the decision to make changes on the defensive side in terms of who their play caller would be. And this feels like a football team limping into the postseason and now going on the road to play a playoff game. I'd be really nervous if I was a Philadelphia Eagle fan.
No question. They'll go on the road to Tampa because Tampa was a win and won the NFC South over Carolina today, 9-0. Mike, Tim invoked A.J. Brown. If it's not Hurts, it's Brown, the 2 most important pieces on the Eagles. Obviously, any quarterback's dependent on his wide receivers and vice versa. What do you think about the Brown injury?
Yeah, it's really significant. For several weeks here, we kept thinking like, the loser of Dallas-Philly will go on the road and beat Tampa in the first round. That's really not the case anymore like it was a year ago. Philadelphia is going to have their hands full with a really good Tampa Bay defense, and Baker's playing really clean football for their offense. And if A.J. Brown can't go, A.J. Brown could mask the deficiencies of that Eagle defense. If he can't go, that is a huge loss for them. This game is much more competitive than I think a bunch of us thought even just a week ago.
Couldn't agree more. Fellas, hang tight. On the way, why wait until